Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm going to give this just a few moments. I'll wait for a few more folks to log on here. My name is Meghna Girardi. I am the events manager at Booklarder. I'm here in Seattle. Preeti's in Seattle as well, and Rohit is in the UK. If you are just joining us, feel free to use the chat function at the bottom of your screen to let me know where you're listening from today. And just make sure you select the to everyone option if you'd like everyone to see your message here. We're really excited to have you all. I'm going to get started in just a few moments here, but on behalf of Booklarder, welcome. We are a small independent bookstore in the Fremont neighborhood of Seattle. We do cooking classes. We've started doing some in-person events and are continuing to do some virtual events. So thanks for joining us from wherever you're listening from today. Got Sharon listening from Mill Creek. Sue is listening 3 blocks from Booklarder. And we've got Leanne from, I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this right, Ypsilanti, Michigan. Did I say that right? I hope I did. Thanks so much for joining us today. Today we're going to be speaking to Chef Rohit Ghai. Oh, wow, I did pronounce that correctly. Great. Chef Rohit Ghai, he is the author of brand new book, Tarkari. It's a beautiful vegan and vegetarian cookbook that'll be perfect for the fall. He's going to be joined in conversation by Chef Preeti Agarwal. She is a local chef here in Seattle and a chef owner of both Meesha and Kricket Club, her newest restaurant concept. I'm going to give them a better introduction once we get into this, but we're really excited to have them both here today. We've got signed book-plated copies of Tarkari available at booklarder.com. I will put a link in the chat for anyone that is interested in purchasing a copy. You can support this author talk by purchasing your copy from us or from your favorite independent bookstore. We'll have a little bit of time towards the end of the event for some questions. If you have any questions for us or for Rohit or Preeti, you can submit them in the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen there. That will be just the best way for us to keep track of any of your questions. And then you're welcome to use the chat function here to share your general feedback and talk to other attendees here today. This author talk will be posted on our YouTube channel within 48 hours of the event. So if you want to watch it back and revisit any of the conversation today, you will get a link directly from Zoom after this event within 24 to 48 hours. Before I turn it over to Rohit and Preeti, I just want to give them a warm welcome and read their bios real quick. We're so excited to have them. Rohit Ghai's love affair with food began in his mother's kitchen in his native Punjab, India. He went on to study Indian cuisine at the Institute of Hotel Management in New Delhi before perfecting his craft at esteemed hotel groups across the country. After moving to the UK, Rohit worked in and headed kitchens at some of London's leading Indian restaurants, including Banaras, Trishna, Gymkhana, Hoppers, and most recently, Jamavar and Bombay Bustle. Rohit is the first Indian chef to have won a Michelin star for Jamavar within 10 months of the restaurant's opening. In 2008, he and his business partner launched their first solo London restaurant, Couture, which is where I believe he is joining us from today. He's going to be joining conversation by Chef Preeti Agarwal. She's an Indian chef born and raised in Uttar Pradesh, India, and has been quietly building a dedicated audience for her pop-up Indian dinners called Meesha, which brings modern Indian cuisine to the Seattle dining scene by using local and fresh seasonal ingredients. Through her work in food, she creates and shares traditional Indian dishes with exciting flavors and ingredients that are reflective of her upbringing and heritage. She's been doing these meals all over Seattle since 2018 and saw an opportunity to grow even further. In June, she purchased Pomerol, a popular French restaurant actually here in Fremont in Seattle. And she adjusted the menu to focus on small plates, starters, and vegetables, and infused select Indian spices, flavors, and dishes to the menu. That became Meesha 127. And with a passion for elevated cooking, Meesha aims to bring contemporary Indian cuisine to the Seattle dining scene by using local and fresh seasonal ingredients based here in the Pacific Northwest. Rohit and Preeti, it's so nice to have you both here in the virtual space today. Thanks so much for taking the time to join our audience. Welcome. Thank you. And I'll turn it over to both of you.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Preeti.
Hi, Meghna. How are you?
I'm good. It's so nice to have you and meet you. I'm going to turn it over to both of you. I'm just really excited to be a fly on the wall for this conversation.
Awesome.
Thank you, Meghna. Hi, Preeti. How are you doing?
Good. Hi, Rohit. It's lovely meeting you.
Same here. Thank you.
First of all, I really want to congratulate you for this amazing, beautiful book that you're gonna talk about. I love the recipes there. Love all the creative, really unique vegetarian dishes that we can try and our audience can try at home. Simple, but at the same time, very unique. So,
thank you. Thanks a lot for your kind words. And of
so
course, to make the book. Yeah, go on.
I just wanted to ask you, like, if you want to start this conversation, I've read a little bit about you, but would love to hear from you. Like, how did you start this? Like, how did you pursue, or how did you, what inspired you to pursue cooking or have your own place in London?
To be honest, there was no plans to joining this industry, to be honest. And I spent a lot of time with the family, especially with my mom, right, because I'm the youngest one in the family, and always get opportunity to spend a lot of time with the parents. And right, so as such there was no plan, but of course after done my +2, my I saw there was a admission opens for hotel management. So I said, rather than wasting time for another competition, as like typical Asian parent, they always think they should go for something different, public services, something like that.
Yeah.
But the one thing I would always said, all the credit goes to my parents. Now being here as a Michelin-starred chef, doing have my own restaurants in London. So all the achievements, everything, all the credit, I always give it to all the credit to my parents, because they never stopped me. They said, at the end, it's your career, your future, do whatever you like. So this journey started like this. So I just filled up the form. That time it was very challenging to get admission in the hotel management time, right, because there was a very limited seats, and you have to cross the merit list for the entrance exam, otherwise you won't get the right college. So yeah, all the struggle has been done. Then on one point only, then when I enter into this industry, so slowly you hardly get you hardly stand for like long hours. But now when I started in this industry, it really took a little bit time to understand, and you have to be quite energetic to do long hour shifts and all these things. Then slowly I used to get all these habits. Now I hardly sit, to be very honest with you.
I can completely understand
after spending like 19 years,
right,
19 20 years, I hardly sit nowadays. I'm just sitting at the moment because I have to attend this webinar.
Yeah.
So I've got the first breakthrough working with Oberoi Hotel in India. And after spending a couple of years with the Oberoi Hotel and Taj Hotel, I decided to go for the international exposure. So I was looking looking for something good. Then finally, I found Mr. Atul Kochia, got the opportunity for Banaras, one of the best.
Yeah.
That time it was one of the best hot restaurant in UK. So I joined. I grabbed this opportunity. I was heading that group for 6 years and helping him out with other ventures worldwide. Then after that, I joined another opening group. It's one of the biggest group in UK now. It's called JKS Group. So looking after all their Indian restaurant as a corporate chef, Gymkhana, Hoppers, Trishna, and there was another one which I opened in Denmark called Veranda.
Wow.
So after all this success, then I grabbed another opportunity, open another place in Mayfair only in 2016 in Jamawar. So it was the biggest hit in my career actually, where I won the Michelin star in less than a year time, 10 months only.
That's amazing. It's incredible.
Yeah. Then back to back, another restaurant for them, for the same group. It's called Bombay Bustle,
Right.
which is again in Mayfair. So in all honesty, I spent more than 14 years in Mayfair. Mayfair
Wow.
only.
Yeah.
Opened so many places.
So lucky to have you there.
Then after all the success, my near and dear ones, they encouraged me to open my own places. So without wasting time, I grabbed the opportunity with Kutir site. So that happened in 2018. That was my first own place. Then after 6 months, I opened another casual dining space called Kulcha. That is more focused on street food.
Right.
Then, yeah, everything was going well. Then COVID happened.
Of course.
So all the restaurant got shut. And hospitality was in trouble, to be honest, still in trouble. There's a lot of challenges everywhere across the globe. Then during the COVID, I was like, I grabbed the opportunity to start writing the book. So we had a couple of, all these things happen over the Zoom meetings, to be honest. I've done the sign up with Kyle's, my publishers, and all the, brainstorming exercise meetings all happened during COVID only.
Wow.
And finally, we got the opportunity to meet each and everyone this year only.
Oh, that is something, like everything online, virtual.
Everything virtual. So it was not good enough. So I decided to do my virtual classes because there was a huge demand for virtual classes.
Yeah.
And everything was closed during the COVID time. So I opened my own studio as well. I was like back to back every single day, back to back sessions, like virtual classes. It was a big hit for me. On the side, start writing. So I would say in short, during the 13 months COVID period time, I was the busiest person ever.
Yeah.
I was working on my 2 projects as well, which I launched very recently. Last month, I opened another place in Doha. That is one of the tallest restaurant in the world, 43rd floor.
Wow, that's awesome.
And 2 weeks back, I opened my another venture in Mayfair. So now I'm back in Mayfair again with the new venture called Manthan.
Awesome. This is very inspiring, Rohit. I mean, I just opened my second one, but when I'm listening to this, like, I have way to go, and so good to hear, your incredible journey. That's amazing.
Let me tell you one more thing. Manthan, it was my 19th opening in my career.
Wow. That's like, and that in such a short period of time, if you think about, since you have your own.
It is.
Yeah. So how you come up with this name Tarkari? I know Tarkari means vegetable in India, and it's so good to see that on this cover because it's very unique, and it
is
pure vegetable.
Actually,
makes sense.
When I signed this book, that time I was working on different projects. Like, I'm getting ready to launch my couple of, projects. So Tarkari, I thought, because London trend food scene is keep changing every single year. So gluten is, the vegan is one of the biggest trend. It's in trend actually everywhere worldwide, I would say.
Same here.
So I was start working on that, and that time, we had a couple of brainstorming exercises as well with the publishers and the entire team. So I thought, if the book is going to be vegetarian, vegan. Then I start thinking about the unique name. So I thought better to get something pure from India.
Sure.
Then I thought about Tarkari.
Right.
Even if I talk about Kutir, actually the location wise, when I came to see this location, it's in Chelsea Townhouse area, very posh residential area in London.
Right.
So I thought, let's do Kutir. Kutir, it's like a small cottage.
Yeah.
So, you have to come up, you have to have some sort of inspiration. So I've got inspired just because of the location of this site. And the same thing happened with the book as well. So we thought about, like, vegetarian, vegan, let's come up with some unique names, some purity. So I thought Tarkari will be the best name.
It's perfect for this book. I was reading the recipes in this book, and I was really impressed that you have added few Nepalese dishes. Usually
Yeah.
Nepalese food is very meat focused or oriented. So I love like the fried rice. They look so appetizing that I want to make it like I'm going to make it tomorrow maybe. And there was another dish, right? Which is very Nepalese.
It's palungo gosag,
Yeah.
spinach,
That one.
stir-fried spinach.
You want to tell something about that sag or this like two very unique dishes there?
It is actually. I had a very bad habit while working in India. I used to do, R&Ds. So
Mhm.
Oberoi hotel, they always, ask staff to go and do R&Ds before the appraisals for the, your expectations. So you have to prove yourself. So it was a good learning for me actually. So I've done my own R&D work long time back, and I'm just keep trying new dishes, new ideas.
Yeah.
I create my own dishes as well with different unique ingredients, because London market it's a huge market where you will get so much varieties of, if we talk about vegetable, meat, game, everything is available. So I used to cook this spinach. To be honest, personally, I love it. The flavors, the cinnamon powder, carom seed, mustard oil, and it's very straightforward to get it. Only thing, you just need to buy a baby spinach, little
Right.
bit sauteed the onions with garlic. It's quite rustic. I
Yeah.
would say the flavors are rustic.
Hearty
Even the
and
cooking,
rustic.
yeah, even the cooking is very good. So
So, and very
I
seasonal,
love it.
like right now for fall time and for fall and winter. This is very seasonal, very good to have
It
it
is.
or
It
make
is.
it right now during
It
this.
is. And I always consider, seasonal and of course local produce on the menus as well.
Yeah. Like Seattle is all about that. Like we get so many people here too who are vegan or they just love what's local and seasonal. So here in Seattle, most of restaurant, that's what we love to do as well.
Mhm.
Do you think, like for me, there are few ingredients in Indian cooking that I feel are underappreciated, right? People don't even know about, but they're so flavorful. Like, what do you think in your view? Like, which one are little under,
To be honest, if you talk about Indian food, only thing, Indian food is very popular in UK, not in UK, it's worldwide. And the only thing, what I observe, this is my personal opinion. It won't harm anyone. So most of the Indian restaurants chefs, or the owners, they feel quite, you know, they really wants to take the, easy journey. Don't get me wrong. It's like,
right?
as I said, it's my own opinion. So they doesn't want to take the risk to introduce
Yeah,
new
yeah,
new things. Even, Indian food has a lot of depth.
yep,
So even if you see my restaurant websites, I'm keep updating the menus. I have I have a proper plans for the year. Like every quarter, I have to make seasonal changes,
yeah,
and I don't shy away bringing something, new to UK market. Like recently, I've done the new project called Manthan, as I previously mentioned, where you can see the menu. It's completely different than Kutir. Or I really want to bring some uniqueness, because Indian food has a lot of depth.
right,
And for example, I've got like regular clientele. If I'm doing, for example, butter chicken masala at Kutir, why they
right,
want to have the same thing at Manthan?
yeah,
So
exactly,
rather than replicating the same stuff, I always create new concept with the
right,
new dishes, some
yeah,
freshness. And of course, it's little bit of painful, because few people there's the restrictions, like, few dishes are very much familiar in UK and worldwide as well, I believe. So when you launch something new, so you have to do a proper training to your floor staff to,
Right.
or sometimes you have to educate your lovely client as well. So I
Yeah.
have to go and explain sometime what exactly it is, what's
Yeah.
the story behind the dish. I don't mind.
Yeah.
So that is the difference, to be honest.
Yeah. So same
Or
here. People love to know because they get excited. Like in Seattle too, they always feel so happy that they're trying something new, other than just
exactly,
eating, palak paneer or chicken tikka masala or chana masala. So they always ask me, and I do the same. Like go to the tables, explain. Like we are doing this tiffin boxes where I seasonally change dishes in the tiffin box, but they have never heard about it. And in India is like such a good, I remember, like, in our childhood time, or even in Mumbai, those dabba walas and the tiffin boxes that we use. So I'm bringing that back where people can actually experience that India is more than just eating, 2 3 dishes that most
exactly.
restaurants are serving. So it's good to have that. So you must have a lot of research involved with this book, picking up
To be honest,
these dishes.
I've done, as I said, I've got my big suitcase, like, the handmade notes, which I've done it
Right.
like long time back.
Yeah.
So during the lockdown, there was no space. Even I couldn't get the access for my restaurant's kitchen.
Right.
Even my family, they like my wife and the little ones, they are very happy because Rohit is at home. I hardly spend any time at home,
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
And they were like very happy getting fresh dishes, fresh vegetable every single day. I've done a lot of R&D at home only.
Of
The,
course. Of course.
the standard, the recipes and everything.
Yeah,
So they were like everyday feast for them.
that's awesome. So, is there any culinary technique that you use in any unusual way or your own unique way that is different than?
I I do use in the restaurant, of course. I use a lot of slow cooking, different cooking techniques, methods. But of course, this book is dedicated to all the home cooks because at home we hardly get any commercial equipments.
Right.
So that thing I consider very well. So whoever bought this book, they won't be disappointed. They can cook with very limited,
Right.
ingredients at home,
Yeah.
and you don't need any special
Equipment.
commercial
Yeah.
equipments for that.
Yeah.
So that thing you have to consider because your audience will be the home cook,
Right.
not the restaurant people, not the commercial. Maybe few of them they buy,
Yeah.
but most of the people, they really wants to do experiment at their home. They really wants to treat their customers,
Yeah.
their friends and family,
Yeah.
and their clients as well. So I took the focus just for the the home cook, whatever equipments we have, like basic oven, basic cooker, range, and
Right.
that's it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, in restaurant, I always use different cooking techniques.
Right.
One of the best one is my one of the favorite, actually. I do 24 hours lamb shoulder, so
Right.
slow cook overnight.
Yeah.
So the entire process take to finish the dish from the scrap 24 hours at least.
Yeah. Yeah. So that falls the bone or very just melt in your mouth kind of meat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very soft.
Yeah. So, which one is your favorite dish from this book? Favorite recipe that
To, to be
I know.
honest, I put so much effort, so I can't be like very choosy. But of course, everything is very good. You should try it. One of my favorite is I personally love it. The Loki kofta, the
Yeah.
dumplings, bottle guard dumplings. It's remind me my mother's cooking, actually.
Yeah.
She always cook like that,
Yeah.
and she knows that's one of my favorite. And of course, there's another very basic standard recipe. It's called pindi chana.
Hmm.
And apart from that, paneer makhni, that is my little one's favorite.
Of course. Yeah.
So they love to have it with the plain naan or butter naan. They love it.
Yeah. So,
And being
like,
a
what is,
Punjabi,
yeah, and the
being a
bedai puri and aloo. I am from UP, so I have
exactly.
eaten that. So it's little tricky to make, but I can tell my audience, our audience, that once you make it, you would love it. You know,
No,
once
if they follow the recipe,
yeah,
recipe is
yeah,
pretty straightforward. There's
yeah,
everything mentioned in
yeah.
detail,
It's like,
so they can achieve the same thing.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So, what about the spice level? Do you want to tell our audience about these dishes, the spice level? Like, most of them are like little, they should make it on the higher spice level, or it should be, it will taste
No,
good.
to be honest, I I won't I'm not a shy person using spice,
Yeah,
so I would recommend everyone
spicy food. Yeah,
the quantity what I mentioned in my book.
yeah,
If you don't like too much spicy, then try and reduce the quantity, because all the recipe has a lot of kick.
right. Yeah,
So
very
maybe they can
flavorful.
drop
Yeah,
chili powder
yeah,
or green chili, because I use a lot chopped green chilies, the spicy ones, plus red chili powder as well, garam
yeah,
masala as well.
yeah,
Because in my belief, Indian food is all about, the spices what we have. It's more than 30 ingredients I use in my kitchen.
yeah.
So I really want to showcase, I really want to share the flavors, the fragrance of the spices. And of course, the hotness is completely different. But of course, we can avoid uh, depending on the taste buds.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I feel like it depends, of course, on but all other ingredients, spices are so flavorful. If they don't even put a lot of chilies in it, still it's
Yeah,
gonna taste delicious. You don't
exactly.
have to put a lot of chilies in it. Are you planning any book tour, like, or are you already doing a book tour, like traveling, or right now you're just doing more like virtual ones?
To be honest,
I think it's getting.
virtual. Maybe I do one in London, next visit India next month. So I do another launch in India as well. If it hectic, I have to go and get the handover for my new site in a week time only. So I'm at the moment like back to back openings. So
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. I'm asking this that hope to see you in Seattle sometime soon. That's why I'm asking this.
as I said, if my
Yeah,
meeting goes well next week, then definitely you're gonna see me in there in January, early January.
very cool. Well, it's so lovely to have this conversation with you, Rohit. And if our audience has any questions, they can put them in the chat and would love to answer them. And Meghna, do you want to come in?
There you go. She's back.
Hey, I'm back. Thanks so much for joining us, Rohit and Preeti. If any of our audience members have questions for either of these two lovely chefs, we would love to take them. You could submit them in the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen, or in the chat function. We'll read them both. I have a question for you, Rohit, if that's okay.
Go on.
So one of the things that I read in your introduction was that you one of your favorite dishes growing up was makki di roti and
Sarson da saag.
sarson ka saag. I think that this is a dish actually I had only had for the first time when I went to India in
Winter time.
2013, maybe in the winter. And I was curious, could you tell our audience a little bit about this dish and why it's special to you, and why it's so seasonal?
See, the first thing, as I mentioned, this is my personal favorite. If my mother cook, I'll have 2-3 portions straight away.
Mhm.
Secondly, it's being a Punjabi. This is one of the very popular dish in Punjabi cuisine, and of course North India. So this dish is basically made with the mustard leaves, the fresh mustard leaves, and it's very seasonable in India, especially during the winter time. after November, after October, you will get the right quality of mustard, fresh mustard leaves. So you have to cook it on a slow heat. Then you have to add little bit of another green vegetable. Sometime people, if they run out, if they don't find it, they will add spinach as well to make it more more green and more tastier. And it's very straightforward. You have to cook the leaves. You have to pick the leaves without the stems, and you have to cook it along with crushed garlic, little bit of ginger, rough chopped ginger. You have to put it in the pressure cooker, and it will take a little while, but of course the taste, it's amazing. You have to, once your spinach is cooked, you have to temper with onion, chunks of ginger, lot of green chilies, and you have to just slow cook it very slowly, very patiently. And on top of that, there will be a lot of butter and ghee we use while cooking this dish.
Of course.
And it will go really well with the makke ki roti. So it's really tricky to make it at home. Otherwise, my mother used to make it by one without using the rolling pan. And it's hard to get the right texture. And because of the thickness of the roti, you have to cook it on very medium, low heat. So it will take little while, but of course, hard work always pays off. So
Yeah. Aside from that recipe, are there any other recipes in the book that you would recommend for the fall and for the winter for people that are looking to like cozy up with something warm?
I personally like aubergine as well. So it's another my favorite, bangan ka bharta.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Yeah, it should be there. So bangan ka bharta. It's
Let me see if I can find it.
I love to have with the paratas. There's a paratha, homemade paratha. Bangan ka bharta. It's very popular in Punjab too. So that is my favorite. Plus, of course, a lot of people, they prefer rice preparations. So all the rice preparations are my favorite. If they want something different and unique, they should try Botego Bath, the Nepalese fried rice. That tastes really well. And it will go very well either with the spinach, the palungo ko saag, spinach. There's a recipe from Nepal. And there's a lentil preparation as well. It's called kwati. It's basically a mix of 9 lentils. So
wow.
that, for them, it's like a dal makhni for them.
Very protein heavy. And like, what an interesting thing to blend 9 different lentils. I just want to show everyone the picture of the bangan ka bharta. I don't know if you can
Bangan ka bharta. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Maybe I have to cook tomorrow.
That sounds good. Actually, like, I noticed that now that the weather is cooling off, I'm like, I don't want to eat salad. I don't want to eat, like I want to eat like a warm bowl of like lentils.
Then there's a lentil, plus there's a salad as well, couscous salad. You can serve it on a room temperature, or maybe you can make it a little bit warmer side as well. Plus the best thing, being Punjabi, I would recommend, there's a pakoras as well.
Of course.
Or bedi bhaji.
Especially for a Seattle weather, it's always raining here.
Yep.
Parathas and pakoras are one of the best for the raining season.
Yeah, exactly.
This might just be like the perfect food for the Pacific Northwest, don't you think?
Actually, it is.
Yeah, I'd say I'd agree. It's almost like Seattle's made for this this book and this kind of food.
Okay. That's why we launched the book there.
Perfect. That's why we were so
seasonal food.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Rohit and Preeti, it was really lovely to have both of you here, and I'm genuinely so excited about this book. I'm so excited to share it with our customers this winter as they're coming through the bookstore, because it's really like, it's stunning. I mean, look at this glossy.
Love the cover.
Finish. It's just a great size. So many like beautiful photos. Just like very appetizing dishes that like I can't wait to cook, especially as the temperatures drop, and especially as we're spending more time at home with our families and inside. So I'm just going to show one more picture. This is a Nepalese fried rice that we're talking about. Oh, we've got a question coming in from Alejandra. Who's the photographer for your book, Rohit?
It's Maya. She is one of the best photographers in London. She got her own studio. She has done all the photography for that. So all the credit goes to her.
She did a great job.
Yeah, she is.
Did you have any like what is your photography process like? Did you meet together and
so it was like a long process. So during the photography, it happened again. Everything happened during the COVID. There were the restrictions, a lot of restrictions with so it took nearly 2 months to finish the entire photo shoot. So but she was very good, very patient, and I have to be there every day
to cook,
to cover the photo shoot and the recipes, try and test it, everything. So the entire team, they put a lot of effort, to be honest, and I met one of the best teams so far in terms of the photo shoot and their coordination while doing shooting, and they were very patient, especially during the hard time.
Yeah, well, I mean,
and they have done a fabulous job.
Especially I think as we, it feels like we're on the other side of COVID, but we're not quite, and you were right in the heart of it as you were writing this book. And I can only imagine coordinating a creative team safely at that time was probably like its own challenge, in addition to all the work that you put into it.
To be honest, to start this book and to start to finish, it took nearly 1.5 years.
Wow.
Long process.
Yeah.
Long process. Just it went slow down just because of the COVID restrictions and all. But I think we finished on very good timing, and the outcome everyone can see. It's really good book. Even the cover page is really cool. And that, if I'm not wrong, that designed by one of the brand guy who based in Australia, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah. Well, what was the choice? Because this is a cauliflower on the cover.
Yeah.
What was is there any, was that a conscious choice?
There was actually, first of all, again, whatever you do, like, it was, for me, it was like another project. When we do a restaurant, so we have to sit, we have to do a lot of, brainstorming exercise. Doesn't matter, it all happened step by step. Like, so cover page, when the cover page thing come, we put all together, they come up with their own thoughts, the color scheme, what vegetable should put. So, rather than putting a lot of vegetable, we agreed to put just cauliflower, a nice, and everyone's favorite.
It's true, actually. My younger brother is a very picky eater, and cauliflower stock is like his favorite.
Then the background was like turquoise color, so it was like, really blended very well with the color theme as well. So we decided to put like, a little bit of taking a golden approach as well. And all together, slowly it turned up like, perfectly.
It really is like a work of art. It's such a, back to what we were saying, Preeti, about like I think that Indian food is made for the Pacific Northwest, especially like the lighting is just like so.
It could be a perfect coffee table book.
Perfect.
It's so beautiful.
It is, to be honest. And another thing is, while writing this book, everyone done like, so much sacrifices as well. A lot of effort, a lot of, compromises, losses. I still remember after signing this book, I lost my dad after 2 weeks.
Oh, so
So-
So I decided to dedicate this book to my dad. And you can see there's a note on
Mhm.
the third page inside the book.
Let's see if I can find it and read it. On the third page of the book. Yes, I'd like to dedicate Tarkari to my father, Mr. G.D. Ghai, who left us on the 6th of May, 2020. What a beautiful way to remember your dad. Thanks for sharing
There's
that.
a lot of difficult time while writing this book. And to be honest, maybe it all happened because of his blessings.
Mhm.
So finally we achieved a very good, the outcome is very good so far.
Yeah. I'd like to cheers virtually to that. All right. Well, it looks like we don't have any more questions from our audience. But so we're ready to close it out. But we're so happy that we were able to make this work, Rohit and Preeti. It's really, like, for me, truly such a pleasure to host both of you here and to share a little bit more about the diversity of Indian cuisine, and specifically vegetarian and vegan Indian cuisine with our audience. And I know I'm really thrilled to be able to share this book with our customers throughout the rest of this holiday season. So thank you on behalf of Booklarder for joining us both today and taking the time to chat with our audience. And for everyone that is listening, thank you for coming and listening in with us today. Copies of Tarkari again are going to be signed and available at booklarder.com. So again, you can purchase a copy from us to support this author talk. And again, we'll have this talk posted on our YouTube channel if you'd like to share it with anyone. Hopefully this gets you excited to try lots of delicious Indian vegetarian cuisine this fall. That's all that we have for today. Thank you all. Have a good rest of your morning. Rohit, good night. I hope that you get a chance to have a good dinner.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
And Preeti, again,
Thanks
congratulations
a lot.
on
And
Cricket
happy
Club.
cooking, I would say.
Yeah.
We'll
Thanks.
see you in Seattle.
Yeah, it's lovely talking to you, Rohit, and thanks, Meghna, for having
Bring
me.
it across very soon.
Yeah, very soon.
Very soon.
Thank you, Preeti. Thanks. Thank you.
Have a good night. Bye.
Thank you. Take care.
Take care.